Welcome, Watchers of Illusion, to my Castle of Confusion. And I'm looking at Bomberman on the X68000, and I know I've looked at Bomberman a few times on different systems, but you know what? I don't care, because this game's brilliant and I love it, and it should just be one of your bucket list games, period. So yes, I've been quite stuck on the X68000 the last few days, and actually really enjoyed a lot of the game content that I've had a look at. And well, you know, Bomberman is it's a bit like Bubble Bobble. You have to give it a go on every system, because it's one of those games that it needs to be played. It's as simple as that. So here we are on the Sharp X68000 Bomberman, or Dynablaster as it's otherwise known, by Hudson Soft. So the idea is pretty simple. You go around the map and you blow up those little creatures for no reason at all, other than because they're there. But yeah, you kill all the alien guys on the screen. You can find power-ups as you go along. There's one power-up per level, but there's no guarantees where it is, so you have to try and find it. Now, there's also an exit square that you need to find as well, so it's not just a case of finding the power-up. So the basic premise is find the exit, kill the baddies, and then you can leave through the exit square. You'll see what I mean by exit square. Once we've uncovered it, you'll see what I mean. Now, the one thing you don't want to do when you get the exit square is to put a bomb next to it, because if you explode a bomb on the exit square, you spawn several baddies in one go, and that's not fun. So here's my power-up for this level, which is the increased range on my blasts. So you'll see now that the radius is now a lot bigger, which is kind of nice. It does come in handy. Now, we've uncovered the square, so there's nothing more for us to unlock on this level, so we'll just kill this guy and get out of here, because there's nothing left for me to find. Now, if you do happen to clear a level and you've still got something to find, if you haven't uncovered the exit square, it won't show you where that is. But if you have uncovered the exit square, but you haven't uncovered your bonus item, it will show you by flashing block which one it's hidden underneath. So that's quite a nice little sort of help, really. So you don't leave a level without getting your little bonus. So there's different bonuses that you can get. You can get extra bombs, you can get extra radius blasts, you can get bomb-proof jackets, which means that you can survive your own blasts, but you can't walk into enemies. You can get a trigger. See, I don't want to put a bomb there now, because if I hit that, I'll spawn several other enemies. I don't really want to do that. Yeah, so there's also a bomb trigger as well, which means you can blow up the bombs at your leisure, and you've got a little bit more control over when you blow up the enemies, which is quite nice, actually. Comes in very handy. You can also get a power-up that enables you to walk through the walls. You can't walk through solid walls, which sounds stupid because all walls are solid, but the brown bits you can walk through, but the white bits you can't. So there we are. So until you get the trigger, it's all about timing and how you want to go ahead and drop your bomb and try and place it at a suitable time that it will explode next to the bad guys. So some of them, as you can see there, the purple guy was trapped. Gonna try and hit, no, missed. That was a shame, because I could have got two in one go then. But never mind. Anyway, graphically, it's really good. Just reminds me of Dynablaster on the Amiga, which I've also reviewed. I've had a look at a few Bomberman games on the channel. I will link them all in the description for you, so you don't have to go and wade through the reviews to find them. So keep your eyes open on the info, and you'll see where to go. But yeah, the graphics are lovely. Really sort of cutesy and arcadey, and you can see why this game has lasted so long. In fact, it's still going now for I think the latest version is out on the Nintendo Switch. So that gives you an idea. There you go, there's the flashing block. That tells me there's a power-up behind there. I think it's an extra bomb. Yes, it is. Right, so yeah, Bomberman is still currently being made. A bit like Pac-Man, he just refuses to give up, which is great. I also wanted to ask you as well, while I've got you here, ladies and gents, I'm looking at maybe looking at the Pac-Man, the new Pac-Man museum type game that's on PC. I do have it, so if you'd like to see it, let me know. It's rather good actually, but I just wanted to see if you guys are interested in having a look at that as well. So that's one of those staple parts, isn't it? Pac-Man, Bomberman, Bomb Jack. Everything seems to be exploding, doesn't it? But yeah, this game is fab. So I don't know how many players it is on the X68000, but I know on the original releases it was up to 5 players. I mean, that's ace. I know Dino Blaster on the Amiga was multiplayer. I do believe most versions of this game have actually been multiplayer in one form or another. So I would imagine it probably does. I haven't really checked on the options of the game, but I think it should be at least 2 players. But it's not simultaneous. I don't think, anyway. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. But yeah, most Bomberman games have always had the multiplayer option and up to 5 players, which is really quite something, isn't it? I mean, Gauntlet having 4 players was a laugh. I mean, imagine this with 5 players. But yeah, it's nice to see that it stood the tests of time as well, that we're still getting Bomberman games to this very day. I think Bomberman World was probably the one that was a bit of a letdown, but again, I can't really say that without going through and looking at it for review purposes. But there we go, there's the flashing block. Now this is, I'm going to have to go up and around, or let's just go this way, sod it. We'll get that before we exit the level. Now each level is, well, each zone is like 8 levels long, and then there's a boss. Once you defeat the boss, you go on to the next round. So now we've got the roller skates. We are now a little bit faster, which is great. And so the sound of the game is really nice. You've got the classic Bomberman soundtrack, which does actually change as you go through the levels, by the way. But it's a great little soundtrack. Keeps you going. It's very sort of jolly, but it doesn't annoy you, even though it's repetitive. It doesn't grate on you either, which is quite good. Obviously, there's a timer as well. You're up against a clock. Now, here's the bomb trigger, which is really nice because this now enables me to push the secondary fire button, and I can make them explode when I want them to. So you can sort of lay traps now for the I missed him for the guys there. But so there you go. It now makes clearing levels a lot easier. Now the one thing you've got to be careful of as well is putting 2 bombs together or in close proximity to each other. They will explode each other if they're too close together. So just make sure if you do that you are well out of range. And I'm going to try and get these 2. I missed him. There we go, got him that time round. But yeah, I mean, I always thought it was fun just to go around and clear the level anyway, but it really is unnecessary. You don't get anything for it, so there you go. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the UI. I should have mentioned that in the graphics, really, but never mind. So you've got your score in the top left box, and you've got your timer in the middle, and then how many lives you've got next to that. Nice and simple, and then obviously the high score as well, which at the moment is my score, which is 8,000. So all I've got to do now is find the exit square, and we are away from here. I'm going to try and get to the next zone, so to speak, because these are all very sort of samey. The maps do get bigger, or the screens do get bigger as we go along. So we're on stage 1.5 now. We can go to 1.8 or 1.9, and then we're off to the next stage. But the other good thing about this game is that you retain your power-ups, so you don't lose them from level to level, which I think is a really nice touch. However, if you die, you do lose a majority of your fun ones, and you do revert back. Like, if I die now, I lose my bomb trigger, so that'll take that away, and I think, I can't remember if it takes away like something per death. So if I lose a life, I lose my bomb trigger. Do I lose another life? Then I lose my secondary bombs, maybe. I don't know. But that you do get a penalty for dying, obviously. But there we go. I'm not actually sure. I think that enables you to hold down the fire button and drop bombs repetitively. So you don't have to click the fire button. You just hold the fire button down and walk, and you will drop them. I don't know what I'm trying to do. I thought it was yes. Yeah, I thought it was. I thought that might have been a kicking the bomb thing, but it's not. I think literally it is a speed up, so you can drop your bombs at a faster rate. So that'll come in useful. So now we just got to get rid of the remaining bad guys on the level, and we can move on. There he goes. I love the fact they pull faces as they explode. There's a lot of attention to detail in this game. It's really nice. But you know, Bomberman, it's one of those sort of early games, but there wasn't this is one of those games that I always like to think as one of the sort of games that you like to play rather than look at. Obviously very cutesy, and you know, it's a very arcadey game. Hudson Soft have done a great job with it, and they always have done. So I really love this game, and I think if you've got friends, what do you mean if you've got friends? Of course you've got friends. If you invite your friends round, play Bomberman together. It's great. It's also on the PlayStation as well. I don't think I've looked at Bomberman on the PS3 yet, but I know that was one of my that was a game that I went to quite a lot from and that was on the PS Store, I believe. But it was a cute little game, great little game, and you could unlock different costume pieces for your Bombermen as well, which was actually quite unique. I don't know if there's any other version of the game that does that, but oh well. But yeah, I would like to try and cover most of the Bomberman series at some point. There was a Bomberman game on the Sega Saturn. In fact, most systems, I think, had Bomberman. So that was always nice. I don't think the Spectrum version had Bomberman. I could be wrong. It might have been a different title of the game, because maybe they didn't have the rights to the name or whatever. But I don't think the Specky had a version of this. But damn it, it needs one. So all in all, this game is highly recommended. I actually really enjoy this game, and I could sit here and just solo play it for ages as well. So it's got that appeal. So that really brings us on to playability, I suppose, and replay value, which of course it is going to have high scores on both of those, because one, it is incredibly playable, and secondary, you are going to come back to this game again and again, just purely the fact that it's fun. So yeah, he's a Bomberman, come on! But yeah, if you've never played a Bomberman game, this is a good one to start with. This is pretty much the one that started it all. And I think, you know, you guys should just have a go anyway, just to say you've played it. A bucket list game, I do believe. Now, the other thing about the game is that the controls are very easy. You've got 2 fire buttons. So you've got one that drops bombs, and then you've got obviously the bomb trigger on the opposite button as well, which is quite nice. So it's always good to have these multi-button games. And it works really well as well. They've got the controls absolutely spot on, very responsive, and you don't find yourself sort of making stupid mistakes like you do on some control pads. Now the thing is with this is as well, you've got to be careful that you don't trap yourself between a bomb and a piece of wall, or else that's it. You can't escape, and you are going to get blown to smithereens. At this point, I seem to be able to walk. Maybe that's what that one was. I think I can walk through bombs. I think that's what it does. The one that the power up that I thought was dropping bombs quicker, actually enables me to walk through them, which you can't normally do that, I don't think. So yeah, that's quite handy actually. But there we go. So you can see the bomb trigger. I'm actually doing really well. How the hell am I still doing this without dying? I'm not normally this good at this game, but hey, I'm doing quite well, he says, as he gets blown up immediately. Now that's that power up I just got enables me to walk through any of the brown squares. So that's quite useful for escaping. So now we've just got to get this little dragon dude, and then we're on to the next bit, I think. There we go. Now we've just got to find the exit square and get out of here. So, what age group? Well, pretty much any, because this game's going to appeal to young gamers due to the look of the game. It's going to appeal to older gamers because it does get trickier as you go along. The challenge is most definitely there. And I do believe it is a multiplayer, but if it's not, you can always do the pass the controller thing, see if you can beat each other's scores, that kind of thing. You don't have to have a one-player game just to be a one-player game. There's our exit square. Let's get out of here. I'm hoping to show you at least a bit more of the game. I think, hopefully, is this the boss level, or is it going to be the next one? Oh, this is the boss, yeah. So that's like a bit of like a centipede. You have to kind of attack his body. I think you've got to make... I think his head is indestructible. So you've got to try and attack him as he goes... Boom, there we go. There we got him quite a good way. So we're going to hit him again, and oh, we've killed him. So that was easy. I'm guessing without the bomb trigger, it's quite hard though, because you would have to time all of your bombs to go off as he's sort of patrolling around the map. But yeah, that's it. We've just got to get that feather duster at the bottom now to, for some reason, is patrolling around. But we'll get him and sort that out, and we're into the next stages. And that's where I'm going to leave it, folks. Thank you ever so much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed the review, and I'll be back soon with another game to look at. I hope you've enjoyed this one. This has been Bomberman on the X68000. I've been Rich. This has been the Retro Revival Show, and I will catch you in the next video. So until then, my friends, you keep it retro, and yep, as usual, it's bye for now. Ta-da!